Good morning, everyone, and thank you for your patience as we got started this morning. Welcome to the Together for LA webinar series. Today's presentation is on a very exciting topic, very appropriate for the new year, and Happy New Year, everyone. Today, we are presenting 4 steps to building a profitable high growth business. This presentation is brought to you by Together for LA. I would like to introduce myself. I am Angela Amarkanian, Program Manager for the Together for LA program, hosted by the LAEDC, the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation. On behalf of LAEDC, thank you so much for your time and joining us this morning. And we have a great presentation for you with some exciting guest speakers. LAEDC is a nonprofit organization founded in 1981. We are a public benefit organization whose mission is to champion equitable economic growth across the Los Angeles region. Once again, this webinar series is brought to you by our Together for LA program, which is a strategic partnership to strengthen and support women-owned and diverse-owned small businesses all across Los Angeles County and all across all industry sectors as we strive to recover from the economic crisis wrought by the COVID-19 pandemic. No-cost technical assistance and connections to small business resources are made available through a generous grant from Wells Fargo's Open for Business Fund. TFLA is a strategic partnership, and our partners are listed with the logos on your screen. I would like to introduce you, if you have not already been, to our website, laedc.org/coronavirus. This website was launched when the pandemic started and serves as our small business resource hub, where there are resources for absolutely everyone with an easy to filter system where you can narrow down the resource based on your industry, business type, and the type of research you're looking for. For example, grants and loans, workforce information, and so on. So please take some time to visit this website. There's absolutely a resource that will benefit you on the website. And we do update this website on a daily basis. So anytime that there's a new grant or loan that comes up, we immediately put it up for our small businesses to take a look at and take advantage of. I'd like to introduce you to my colleague to give us some more information about our no-cost one-on-one complimentary and confidential technical assistance services. Bob is district director with LAEDC, and he also provides technical assistance. So Bob, please share some more information about what programs are available to our small businesses and those that are on the webinar this morning.
Thank you very much, Angela. Good morning to everyone, and thank you for participating in this morning's webinar. Before we introduce our guest speakers, I just want to take a couple of minutes and tell you about the LAEDC's Business Assistance Program. This is a program that's available to all businesses at no cost to you. We cover all areas in Los Angeles County, all 88 cities and all 120 unincorporated cities. So wherever you are in LA County, we have a district director, a manager who can meet with you. Right now it's virtually, understand your challenges and really help you with a variety of programs. And you'll see on the list there are a variety of programs where we can help you with workforce training, business incentives, grants and funding, and additional programs as well that are tailored to help you with any challenges you may be having. And by the way, all these resources and programs are at no cost to you. They're funded by our funders at the Los Angeles County. Next slide, please. Over the years, we have cultivated a number of relationships and connections. As you can see there in the chart, we have connections with the various departments, with LA Public Works, the different departments, the financing department, the work source centers. We can help you with incentives and really customize a tailored program to help you, again, with your challenges. Next slide, please. But the important thing I really wanted to talk about, and I know we're really all tired in hearing about COVID-19, but even though it is plateauing, it is still with us. And we really want to introduce the state. We're working very closely with the State Department of Labor and Workforce Development. And really, this site, saferatwork.ca.gov, really is about educating you, educating the employer to really be safe in the workplace. And this site you can customize based on your type of industry and where you're located. And it is a comprehensive site that will really help you see the latest guidelines, the latest compliance, and how you can be safe at your location here in Los Angeles County. Again, with the right information and tools, we hope to really reach and motivate workers and employers to protect themselves, their workplace, and their community for the benefit of all of us. And this website is updated daily. I checked last night, and it's most of the information is updated relative to information on COVID-19. The website again is saferatwork.ca.gov. And if you forget the website, you could simply Google, go to the LA EDC's coronavirus website, and you could find it in there as well. Again, if you have any questions, you can contact us. We can try to answer any questions you may have and help you navigate this website. Again, thank you very much. And I'll turn it back over to Angela. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bob. And just to clarify and confirm, someone from our technical assistance team will be in contact with you after this meeting in order to learn more about any areas of need, as well as schedule some further time to further assess your business and provide you with some resources and connections that can benefit you. A couple of housekeeping notes before we get started. This webinar is being recorded, therefore we will be posting it on our website for those that want to look back and take a look at the information that was presented. We do have a lot to cover, so definitely take advantage of that. Also, we will be taking some questions that we will be addressing at the end of the presentation during our Q&A session. So please use the chat function and the Q&A function, and then we will moderate those and read them out loud and address them to our speakers towards the end of the presentation. So the reason why we're all here this morning, 4 steps to building a profitable high growth business. We have 2 great speakers from COSI, who I'd next like to introduce. We have John and Vaughn that have joined us this morning. John Motner is a business coach and the founder and president of COSI, which stands for Cycle of Success Institute, which is a business coaching program that teaches small and mid-sized companies on how to grow faster by engaging and energizing people to innovate and continually improve. We also have Vaughn joining us this morning. He is the regional president for California, also with COSI. So it is my pleasure to pass it over to John and Vaughn to take it from here.
Good morning, everybody. Angela, thanks so much. I love LAEDC, and it's an honor to be working with you today. And I wanted just to jump right in. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so I'm just going to get started. But let me quickly tell you a little story. When I was in my mid-20s, I was sitting in a corporate office at a Fortune 500 company doing really boring financial analysis and going, I can't stand this, I hate this. So I quit my job and I started my first company. I had this big idea. And I really had no entrepreneurial background, no experience, but I had this big vision. And let's go to the next slide and I'll talk about that big vision. So what I did is I quit my job and I bought a copper kettle with a flame underneath it. And I added cinnamon, sugar, vanilla, and almonds. And I made these gourmet cinnamon roasted almonds. And I opened up my first cart and I put it in downtown Orlando, Florida at a place called Church Street Station. And I was utterly convinced that someday there's going to be these roasted nut carts all over the world. Absolutely convinced of it. And I just had this feeling that I've got to try this. And it's an experience I have to have. And if it fails, at least I could say I tried. But I knew just inherently that someday there's going to be these roasted nut carts all over the world. Now, of course, my friends and family thought I was crazy for quitting my job, but I had to try it and I didn't listen to them. And about 6 months into running the business, I was really in deep financial trouble. Let's go to the next slide. What happened was sales weren't what I thought they were, profits weren't what I thought they were, and I was literally down to my last $300. And now my friends and family are going, I told you so. I told you that wouldn't work. So I really had to take a minute and think about the business. And it forced me to think out of the box. And I started asking myself a series of questions, such as, like, what's wrong with the situation? Is the cart bad? Is the cart ugly? No. Is the product bad? No. Is my hair part on the wrong side of my head? No. Maybe, but anyway. And so it came down after a series of soul searching and questions. I asked myself, well, is my location bad? And the answer is yes. It's really just not getting enough traffic flow. So let's go to the next one. And so Across the street from the arena, from the mall, was this brand new sports arena. The Orlando Magic basketball team had just started that year. They had Shaquille O'Neal as their star rookie player. And I called the food service director up and I said, you know, I know you sell these peanuts that are in a bag and they've made weeks or months ago. My cart makes these gourmet cinnamon roasted almonds and pecans, and the smell of the cinnamon fills the air. And maybe we could try it. And he goes, all right, fine, let's give it a shot. So the first day of the arena, I did more sales than I did the prior 3 months of being inside the mall. And I couldn't make them fast enough. It was ridiculous. And so after a few months, I saved enough money and I built another cart to put it on the other side of the arena. And I said, I really got something here and I need to expand it. So I called Universal Studios up and I did a test there for the first month. And the little roasted duck cart did $100,000. And I was like, wow, you know, that stadiums are good and theme parks look good. And of course, you know, Disney contacted me and said, well, if Universal Studios doing it, we need to have you there. So I got into the Magic Kingdom and the Epcot Center and MGM. And next thing I've got a group of carts going. And what was interesting about Orlando is there's millions of people from around the world that come to the theme parks. So people would approach the cart and say, you know, I live in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I live in London, England. I live in Seoul, South Korea. I mean, how do I get one of these carts? And so I kind of started like franchising the business. In any case, go ahead to the next slide. So 5 years later, my dream of having roasted nut carts all over the world came true. I literally had them all over the world. And it became, if you go to the next slide, it became actually one of the, we tripled in size every year for 7 years in a row. System-wide sales grew to over $100 million in sales. And let's go to the next one. And the company became one of the 500 fastest growing companies in the country. Now I can tell you that the dream of having roasted nut carts all over the world is a cool dream. But if the reality of actually doing it and living the dream is like 100 times better, amazing. So after I built this company, let's go to the next slide. You know, people would ask me all the time, fellow entrepreneurs would say, well, how did you get so much done so quickly? Like in 5 or 6 years, you just expanded the business so quickly. How'd you do it? And I said, well, it was simple. I mean, I have a process, I have some steps. So, you know, maybe I could show you. And their business has exploded on the market and took off a lot faster. So let's go to the next one. So, I show people this very simple 4-step process. And since 2001, I've taught this to thousands and thousands of business owners. Many of them have become millionaires and multimillionaires because of this simple process, but it's accelerating the growth of your business by focusing on a few things that really matter most and constantly improving and innovating the business. So I'm going to take you through some exercises today. So let's go to the next slide. And really, you know, we're going to kind of work on the business. You know, it's really about taking the business and finding cost savings for your customers, how to solve your customers' biggest problems, maybe looking at new products, new markets, new ways to expand. And let's go to the next slide. And of course, you know, what did Einstein say? You know, if you just keep doing the same things, you're going to keep getting the same results. So if you've been working on your business for the last year, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and you're not seeing rapid growth, stop what you're doing. It's not working. And hopefully today I can give you some tools and techniques that do work to set your business on the right path. It may be that you're running really hard, but running east looking for a sunset. Let's get focused on running the right direction, and you can accomplish so much more, much faster. So let's go to the next slide. So what are you going to discover today? Okay, we're going to talk about how to get quick wins. How do we quickly grow sales and profits? Let's focus on that to start. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have the ability to break through barriers. If you own a company, you got barriers. Today, I want to identify some of them so we can get through those things quickly. And the third thing is we're going to really talk about how to take control of your business. Now, can anybody control the economy? Probably not. Can you control the weather? Probably not. Can you control the competitor? Probably not. So what can you control? Yourself and your business. So today we're going to talk about taking a good hard look at your business the way I did, which turned my business into a better company. Take control of what you can. Don't play the blame game. Oh, it's COVID. or it's the economy, or it's the competitor, or anything else. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Let's focus on what we can do is take control of the company. All right, let's keep going. All right, so do your best. This will work. All right, next one. So hopefully by now you've got a sheet of paper and some sticky notes and a pen. And if you don't have some sticky notes, don't panic. Okay, but just get a sheet of paper and a pen and let's go to work. I really want to do some deep diving today and start really having you think about your business, take a good look in the mirror and figure out what we can do to make it better right now. I'm going to give you lots of ideas. All right, let's carry on. All right, so let's get ready to grow. Now, has anybody heard of a guy named Richard Montanez? Probably most of you haven't, but at 14, he moved from Mexico to pick grapes near LA. He didn't unfortunately speak a lot of English and dropped out of high school. So he got a job as a janitor at the Frito-Lay factory in LA. Okay. And when he got there, the CEO of the company gave him this letter. It says, we want you to, every worker in this company act like an owner. So let me know how you can make a difference. You belong to this business, this company, so make it better. And he remembered that proclamation from the CEO. Now, he also noticed as he's walking around the shop floor, cleaning and maintaining equipment, he also noticed there was no products for Latinos. There was just, a piece of corn, crunchy corn covered in cheddar cheese. And, he keep going. So now in Mexico, he loved the spicy corn. When you take corn and you put cheese and spices on it and lemon and lime, and it's delicious, by the way. But he loved that. And he had this crazy idea. Let's go to the next slide. So he called the CEO, and the kind of conversation went a little bit like this. The secretary answered in the CEO's office, and he said, "Hi, my name is Richard Montanez. I'd like to talk to the CEO." And she said, "Well, are you a regional president?" And he goes, "No." Or, "Are you a plant manager?" "No." "Are you a vice president?" "No." "Well, who are you?" He goes, "Well, I'm the janitor at the LA factory, and I have an idea for him." And she said, "I'll put you right through." So he gave this idea that what if we took the product and made it spicier? I think it might sell. And he goes, "You know what? That's a great idea. I'll fly down to the LA factory, make a presentation, give me some samples. I'm going to think about this." So let's go to the next one. So, okay. So you ever heard of Flaming Hot Cheetos? Probably some of you have, but that was actually Richard's idea. So whatever happened to Richard? Keep going. There you go. So what happened was today Flaming Hot Cheetos is the hottest selling product. And obviously Richard hopefully is no longer sweeping the floor. He's been now promoted to vice president of multicultural sales, recognized by Newsweek as one of the most influential Hispanic leaders in America. He teaches actually an MBA class. And recently a student said, "Well, how can you teach me? I mean, you don't have a PhD." And he said, "I have a PhD. I've been poor, hungry, and determined." So here's my question. Do you or your team, if you have a team of people, do you think you have great ideas that are in your mind? The answer is, of course you do. Yes, we do. And today we're going to get some of those ideas surfaced that could be extremely valuable for your business. I'm going to give you 56 different ideas today, but also come up with your ideas, what you think right now based on your knowledge of the business that'll make it better. All right, let's keep going. So let's start treasure hunting. Vaughn, do you want to jump in and take this section?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. I think we're going to get into a fun part now. So what is a treasure hunting? It's a process for finding ideas and problems through out-of-the-box thinking and through intensive thinking without any boundaries. So I want you to think of as many ideas that you can, no matter if it's a crazy idea or out-of-the-box idea, the more better. I'm sure that you have the paper and the pen and maybe those sticky notes. So next. So you're gonna, I want you to put your ideas on 1 or 2 sticky notes per every questions that I'll be asking you moving forward. Next.
And by the way, if you don't have sticky notes, just write them in bullet point format on your sheet of paper. All right, let's get started.
The question number 1, what is the main problem preventing you from increasing sales? I'll give you 15, 30 seconds. What is the main problem preventing you from increasing sales? I'll give you some ideas next. Such as no new products, services, markets, lack of online sales, not creating or managing sales, no training, no product knowledge, limited selling time, no advertising in social media or any other media, not guaranteeing your work, and no demos, no test drives, so forth. Next.
Hopefully by now you've got at least an answer to question 1. Let's go to number 2.
Absolutely. Now, question number 2. What is negatively impacting the customer experience?
Now, can I just add that the business you're truly in, it doesn't matter what you make, ship, or sell or do, you're in the customer experience business. You're here to wow every customer every time. But let's carry on. Yes.
Absolutely. What is negatively impacting the customer experience? And I have some ideas here. Not understanding your customers, not having a goal, slow response time, poor delivery time, and rework, not educating the customer, and cost savings, and lack of technology. I hope you had some ideas on question number 2.
Right.
Next. So question number 3, what is driving down profitability and cash flow? What is driving down profitability and cash flow? Such as inaccurate pricing and bidding, budgeting, forecasting, slow billing, lack of account payable, accounts receivable management, no line item cost cutting, not selling high margin items, not liquidating slow moving inventories, and poor inventory management, and similar things. Next. Question number 4. What causes communication problems in the company? What causes communication problems in the company? Lack of meetings, lack of goals, progress reports, job descriptions, accountabilities, roles and responsibilities, not having 5-minute stand-up meetings, no report on project progress, better information from customers, more detailed communication, and late follow-ups on tasks.
So hopefully you came up at least 1. So right now you should have at least 4 answers, if not more. Let's keep going.
Question number 5. Where is the biggest productivity efficiency problem? Where is the biggest productivity and efficiency problem, such as no procedures, no standards of procedures, no mistakes, slow setup time, waste in design, manufacturing, etc., unclear roles and responsibilities, unrecognized shop floor,
Unorganized.
I'm sorry, unorganized shop floor, office and warehouse, and similar things.
So what slows down your productivity efficiency? Give us 1 answer at least, hopefully more, but give us 1. Keep going.
Question number 6. Where do you see teamwork lacking? Where do you see teamwork lacking, such as employee poor attitude, no team building exercises, not enough recognition, not measuring performance of individuals, not knowing your team's objectives, no clear mission objectives, people unable to voice, seeing that people are unable to voice their opinions. Next. Question number 7. Where do you encounter quality problems? Where do you encounter quality problems? No quality control check, paperwork, machines, materials, etc. A lack of accountability for follow the procedures. No corrective actions, reworks, undocumented errors, scope of work being unclear. Next. Question number 8, how can you be more competitive, innovative, and add value? How can you be competitive, innovative, and add value? Innovate, such as new innovative products, services, move the service levels higher, understand the competition, make changes to products or services, understands customer needs. Wow, say wow to every customer every time.
Well, we want to be in the business of wowing them constantly.
Right.
And you know, when it comes to innovation, it doesn't have to be a giant leap forward. I know that Starbucks, when you order a coffee, they ask my name and they write John on the cup instead of saying, you know, when they call my coffee's ready, they say, John, your order's ready. I walk up versus order 42. It's more personal. So little things you can do that can create a better relationship with customers can really add up. Keep going. It's doing great.
Next. So what is your number one biggest challenge? This is question number 9. What is your number one biggest challenge right now?
I would say it's the one thing that keeps you up at night. You think about it, it could be an incredible opportunity or could be a problem, could be either side of the coin. Something that right now you're staring at the ceiling at midnight going, you know, I got to work on this thing, or you know, you're afraid of it. Whatever it is, write it down. We're gonna talk about how to get rid of it.
I remember when I was my own business, paying the payroll was keeping me away. So what is your number one biggest challenge right now? Next. One thing you start, this is question number 10, the last question. One thing you start doing now to realize your big vision.
Right. Now, for me, my big vision was roasted nut carts all over the world, but I wasn't anywhere near there. So I actually asked myself these 10 questions. I developed them because they helped me find the number one thing I needed to do. And that one was obviously get out of my current location, find a better one. And I took those steps and it changed everything. But, you know, what is your big vision for your business? My vision was roasted nut carts all over the world. I had no idea how I was going to get there. I didn't have any money or connections, but I thought about it every day. And I think what we think about, we get. So what is your big vision right now? In a one short sentence or a few words, what are you really trying to do? And what will motivate you to get up every morning and go chase it down? Next. As entrepreneurs, we chase dreams. Okay, keep going.
So number one was you should have many ideas now. I'm hoping that you have many sticky notes or many ideas on that paper. Now let's find what matters the most. Within those, let's find it. So what we're going to do is 7M analysis. We're going to get focused. Next. You know, 20% of the efforts results 80% of it. So we organize. We're going to organize your ideas. We're going to select 3 of them that are the most important ones, and then we're going to put value next to it. Next. So we're going to set up a 7M analysis board. On your piece of paper, I want you to have this 7 columns: manpower, machinery, method, material, money, management, and marketing.
Right. So if you've got a sheet of paper, extra sheet of paper, that would be great. So, you know, create your 7 M's across the top. Each of the M's are a column, and get that set up. Now, if you don't have sticky notes and you just wrote everything down on bullet points, that's okay. We'll go, you just hold, we're going to start to categorize those things in a minute. But for those that use sticky notes, let's set up our 7M board so we can get the sticky notes populated. All right.
Next. So place each sticky note in the correct column. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to 1 minute. I want you to put your ideas.
Right. Now, if you don't have sticky notes, just put an M, which M it relates to. So maybe you have communication, where does that belong? Typically management. Maybe you have a better website, maybe that would go in marketing. So you can code each of your bullet pointed items also. So don't panic if you don't have sticky notes. For those that do, right. So I just got a question. What if we need more manpower? Okay, but it's related to money. So that's a good question. So where does that particular issue go? The cause of the fact that you don't have enough people because you can't afford it is probably a money issue, but it actually may be more of a marketing issue. Maybe you don't have the money because you don't have the sales right now. So money is typically related to the financial reporting parts of the company. Marketing is obviously anything marketing related. Management would be things of how you manage the business, communication, accountability, role clarity, organizational structure. Materials are obviously any raw materials or digital materials you use, or machinery that you use is machinery. Methods or any processes you might have, and manpower is your people, your culture, things like that. So just do your best to categorize them to the most appropriate category. But that's a great question. Sometimes what you're categorizing may not be in the right place. So think about the cause of it and where it actually might be the most appropriate place to put it.
Next.
That's a great question.
So circle the 3 important and valuable ones. And remember, you have many ideas. You're just selecting 3 of them at this stage.
What in your mind or your gut sense is the top 3? There's every one of those ideas you wrote down is very important, but just based on your knowledge of the business, what is like those top 3 most critical things right now that need to get done or implemented that will make the biggest impact financially to your company? So take a minute and circle them or highlight them in some way so we can clearly identify those top 3.
Next. Now we're going to place a dollar value over the next 12 months. Now, as of right now, you have selected the 3 critical and most important ideas, the most important things that you need to do. Put a dollar value over the next 12 months next to it.
So in other words, if you were to implement that idea or eliminate that problem over the next 12 months, what's the impact in terms of increasing sales or profitability? Let's get a general sense of that, what you think those things are really worth to your business. Takes a little thought, but just think about, if we implement that thing, what will it do? If we get that issue solved, what will it do to our profitability or sales? Based on your knowledge. If you have any questions, we can help. This takes a little bit of extra thought, but it's important to really come up with a dollar impact of what you think is the top 3.
Next. So let's add them up, those dollars. What's the dollar value? Now, who would like to share what the dollar value is? Anyone wants to share?
So if you took those top 3 and put a dollar value on the total, anybody want to share what they think they have the opportunity to add to their company in profits or sales? Hopefully somebody's brave enough. Yeah, you could just put it in the chat box. It'd be great. Over 6-figure increase. Excellent. Anybody else? Thank you, Lisa, for that.
So we'll be watching.
Yeah, and as you do these, you can pop those in. Right.
Now, so your hidden treasure. So we did go through the treasure hunt. We did the 7M analysis, identified your 3 important and critical ideas that can be implemented over a year, and we put value value next to those 3. But remember, we had many more to value. We have not included those. So this is just for those 3. Let's get ready to implement now. John?
Great. All right. So now you found some money, and again, it's tip of the iceberg. But let me tell you a little story. Let's go back to April 1970. Apollo 13's lifting off from Kennedy Space Center in Florida, and they're going to go do a mission to the moon. They're going to land on the moon, do some experiments, and come back. No big deal. Next. Well, ever heard of the phrase, Houston, we have a problem? Hopefully some of you are nodding your head going yes. And what happened is that the lunar module exploded because there was an oxygen tank that shorted out, and it blew off the side of the lunar module. Next thing you know, they're losing oxygen. They can't steer, their batteries are running down. This actually became the most complicated problem in the history of the world. And NASA, instead of saying, hey, one person, you go fix it, what they did is they assembled some teams. They called them Tiger teams because they were fearless and ferocious and focused. And failure was not an option. And they broke into several subcategories. One category was the oxygen machine team. The other, they did a battery team. They did a steering and navigation team and multiple other teams because this was an incredibly complicated thing. Let's go to the next one. Fortunately, by them working together in small groups and teams, they were able to fly around the moon, get up enough energy and gravity to land exactly back on Earth. And it was an amazing feat they accomplished, and they saved the team. So here's my next question. What do you think solves problems better, teams or individuals? Well, hopefully you're thinking teams, and it's true. There are times when an individual can get to something and have an impact, but historically, a small team of people working together to solve a problem, you can get a better ideas and better impact. So let me talk about Tiger teams. It's a small team empowered to collaborate and share ideas to knock out a particular problem with a measurable goal. And it's an amazing way to empower your people. Now, you may go, well, it's just me, I'm by myself. Well, that's okay. You can have a Tiger team of 1. Maybe you also have an advisor around you, a coach. Maybe you've got somebody that is your banker or CPA or somebody that understands your business. Sometimes maybe working with them can be a good thing. And maybe you've got 4 or 5 employees and we need to get them together and empower them to come up with ideas and solutions. So when you're doing Tiger teams, there's a lot of benefits. So first off, you get quick wins. Quick wins means you can make an immediate impact to an issue. You can have faster growth and you can empower your people. And by the way, we found that running Tiger teams, companies grow 300% faster because they are working on the business to make it better all the time. And a Tiger team is designed to have people come together and share ideas on what they can do to move that idea forward to the next level. Now, once you start running Tiger teams, when do you stop running Tiger teams? And the answer is never. So next question. What do these have in common? A fast food hamburger and a fighter jet. Now, I've heard things like, well, they're both really fast, which is true. And they're both full of grease and oil, which is true. And they could probably both kill you, which is true. But that's really not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is they're made exactly the same way because they have a standard operating procedure. So companies like McDonald's, for instance, has standardized the way they make a Big Mac. It's 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, etc. No, I'm not going to sing that song from the commercial. But anyway, so they make it the exact same way because there's no surprises. And the CEO of McDonald's says our secret sauce is really consistency. People making the same product every time, and the best surprise is no surprise. So if you're a fighter jet and you just jump in the aircraft the way you want to or fly it off, or do you think the military has a procedure on how to go up to the jet and pre-flight it and turn on the switches in the right order and fire it up and run it down the runway. And if you don't do that properly, the military is probably going to take your wings from you if you're a fighter pilot. So having procedures for your business is critical, so you have consistency and quality every time. And when I started opening up, I had one cart. Well, that's great, but what am I going to do when I have 10? How do I teach people how to greet the customer and open the cart and close the cart and roast a batch of almonds perfectly with the right amount of almonds in each bag, and how to fold the bag up properly, and how to do everything every single day? I had to write everything down. That's how I could grow the business more quickly. And some of you have amazing opportunities to grow the business, but you've got to get your processes around it so people can do it your way, which is the best, fastest way. So standard operating procedure is going to be critical for the success of any business, no matter the size. SOPs could be a training, like a video or a checklist or a work instructions or signage or a flow chart. Think about how you can take procedures and write them down like in a recipe, so it's easy to follow and you get the greatest quality every single time, whether it's how do you sell your product or how you make your product or ship your product or whatever you're doing. Get a procedure around it so you have the best possible experience. So as I said, it's a set of instructions. It's so you have better profitability, consistency, quality control, less rework, less errors, better delivery, better customer experiences. And the companies that have solved a problem and wrote a procedure so they do it the new way have absolutely grown and beat the competition. So typical results of companies running Tiger teams and finding their top 3 things they work on and creating procedures as they grow faster, higher profitability, they build a better, more valuable company. Some of you need to be thinking about building value and wealth through your business. And this is going to make your company more profitable. And for every dollar in profit, you can have $5 or maybe $10 more in value. So it's very important to really increase profitability. And of course, we want to have a winning workplace culture. Everybody's talking about, I can't retain people and I can't hire people, but what kind of environment are your people working in? Are they involved in what's going on? Do you treat them well? Or do they have training and procedures and recognition? Are there bonuses or incentives? We want to create environments where people come to work in your business and they never want to leave because they love being there. So maybe you want to just have happier employees, or maybe you want to drive profits and growth faster. Maybe some of you are having a rough road right now. There's lots of potholes you're hitting and speed bumps you're dealing with. And maybe some of you look someday to transition out of your business, maybe to get acquired or, sell the business or give the business to the next generation, your managers, your family, et cetera, your kids. But those are maybe issues that you're thinking about right now. So now what do we do? Well, you can keep going in the same direction, or you can try a new path. Some of you may be at the crossroads. So what we want to be able to do is kind of talk about, of some things we might be able to do together. Next slide. So we want to kind of maybe consider, a strategy session. Maybe we take your 7M and we do a deeper dive on some of those really critical things and start helping you move those critical ideas forward right now. And by the way, I wrote a book. In 24 hours, it became the #1 best-selling business book on Amazon. It's called The Profit Pattern. So what I recommend you might want to do is contact Vaughn. There's his email address, vaughn.hartunian@learncosi.com. If you shoot him a little email, we'll send you the book. Maybe you want to set up a strategy session with us to really do a deeper dive and help you move those top 3 most critical things forward in your business. But I appreciate your time and energy, and hopefully you found some value today.
Thank you so much, John and Vaughn. That was absolutely excellent. It was interactive and very helpful and easy to apply. So thank you so much. I hope everyone got a chance to participate, and I see a lot of questions coming in, which tells me people were in fact participating and doing the exercises. So we will next move into our Q&A session. If you have not yet submitted your questions, go ahead and either submit them through the Q&A feature or the chat feature, and we'll do our best to answer them. I do see a lot of questions for maybe those that joined in late. The recording of today's presentation will in fact be provided. It will be on LAEDC's YouTube channel, as well as a link on laedc.org/coronavirus. There is a past webinars page where we post every single webinar recording that we have ever done. We in fact host these webinars twice a month. So everything we've ever hosted to date is on the website. So today's presentation will be posted in just a couple of days. All right, let's look at some of the questions that have come in. All right, we have an attendee that is asking, is it the same 7M for providing services to the public?
Is that for me?
Either you or Vaughn, whoever would like to take the question.
Yeah, every company we work with does a 7M analysis. It really helps them get all those ideas focused. So they do brainstorming. And typically, we did a very quick brainstorming session. Typically, we like to spend over an hour on that, really dive into those 10 questions. And typically what happens, you might find dozens and dozens of ideas and really help you properly categorize the 7M and get to those top 3 things. And yes, the answer is every company should be doing a 7M analysis to identify what's really most important in their business. And we do that for them.
Thank you, John. Another
Great.
question to either of you that would like to take the question. How do we build team exercising? Can you give us some examples?
Sure. Okay. First thing I would do is if you have a team, put them around the table, ask these 10 questions to them. And what you'll find is if you have 5 people in the room and they each answer 10 questions, you'll have 50 different things. Get them into a 7M analysis and as a team, come together and say, all our voices have been heard. What does everyone think is our top 3 most critical things right now? That's a team building exercise that is not like, let's go have a barbecue or go bowling. This is something that's a team building exercise that'll get their ideas surfaced. They'll appreciate the fact that their voices and opinions were accepted and all ideas were valued. And they're really helping the owner of the company and as a team come together, narrow down what those top 3 things are. That's what I call a team building exercise. And it'll engage them and their voices will be heard and they'll feel more valued.
Thank you. That's a very great tip. And I know that employees truly, especially now, appreciate employee engagement, especially because we are no longer, or most of us are no longer in physical workspaces. So team engagement is more important than ever right now.
It is. It'll also make them feel special. And, anything we can do to make employees feel like they're valued is critical right now.
Thank you very much. And if anyone has any final questions before we wrap, and in the meantime, I will go back to Vaughn's contact information. Please jot this down. If you would like to take advantage of the complimentary strategy session that's being offered to our attendees, as well as a copy of the book, please go ahead and contact Vaughn directly with his email address on the screen. And with that said, I will move on to final remarks. If anyone has any further questions that might come up, someone from our technical assistance team will get in contact with you. And if you would like to further connect with Vaughn and John, we will be happy to send you over to them as well. To wrap things up, once again, we have a contact us form. This is a short business intake form on our website. If you would like to complete this, if you have a chance, with your answers, we will learn a little bit more about your company, your employees, and areas of need. This will give our technical assistance representative some more information before they contact you. We do host webinars twice a month under the Together for LA program. We have our schedule for next month already set with 2 really exciting webinars, one of which is on the 3rd, and it is with Google. So we have a speaker and trainer, and we are providing a workshop with a representative from Google on how to get your business on Google Search and Google Maps. So another really hands-on workshop that I'm very excited to be part of. Another one that I know everyone is eager about, you may or may not have heard about the City of Los Angeles's Comeback Checks programs. We're hosting another info session on the 17th at 11 a.m. with a representative from the City of LA's Economic and Workforce Development team, where she will share about upcoming grant programs. In fact, the Comeback Checks is already open as of will be open as of the 24th, which is the round 3 of the Comeback Checks grants, but there are at least 4 more that we'll be talking about on the 17th. So please feel free to register for those at laedc.org/coronavirus. And if you click on webinars, you'll get a list of all of the upcoming webinars. With that said, I'd like to once again thank all of our attendees for joining us this morning, for participating, for being, thank you for giving us your time this morning and joining us. And especially thank you to our 2 guest speakers that have joined us in sharing their expertise. Thank you so much for all the work you do for our small businesses and for advocating for us and ensuring that our businesses keep growing and remain resilient. So thank you, Ron and John and COSI for your
Thank you,
partnership.
Angela. Appreciate that. Thank you, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you and have a wonderful rest of the week.
Thank you, everyone.